Hey guys, today I thought I would do a video that I did when we were coming into the fall season last year. And it's like a seasonal switch up in terms of my tastes for makeup and what I start to gravitate towards now that we are in spring and heading towards summer. So I do notice that my makeup tastes and like I said, the things that I kind of like gravitate towards really changes depending on the seasons here. So in the fall, I definitely kind of focus a little bit less on glow, and I focus a little bit more on like contour and like heavier eye makeup. Maybe my base isn't quite as glowy, and I wear, like deeper, like brown kind of not necessarily matte, because I'm not the biggest fan of matte lips, but like just more dramatic lips, a stronger brow, things like that. And now in the summertime, and I don't think I'm the only one, I think this is probably pretty universal, I start leaning towards a base that's more glowy. I kind of focus more on highlighter again. All of the lip products I want to use are kind of like glosses and oils and, things that are like really moisturizing and nourishing. My eye looks become very, very simple, like one and done shadows, cream products in general. So I'm going to be sharing with you like how my tastes change and doing a look that kind of exemplifies that. So we're going to start with my base. So right now I just have skincare down. I do have a little bit of SPF down, but what I like to do is definitely like just slather on the SPF. Use products with SPF, any part of my skincare if it has SPF, great. Any part of my like base products, if they have SPF, great. I just like really slathering it on. So I've been playing around with this Derm Institute Daily Defense Protection, and this is a mineral sunscreen. And mineral sunscreens for me, they tend to be a little thicker. They tend to have a little bit of a white cast sometimes. Sometimes they dry down. They're a little bit powdery. They don't always behave, I don't think, as well as sunscreens that are like a chemical sunscreen. But this one is a mineral sunscreen. And so I've been playing around with it. And this is actually what I used on my trip to Cabo because it has SPF 50 plus, PA, and then 4 pluses. And I thought, well, I'm going to the beach. I really want as much protection as possible. And I thought it'll be a good time to kind of test out SPF. This was really, really wonderful. So it has a very thick texture, but once I start working it into my skin, it really starts to feel very, very weightless. Let me just show you actually. So here it is. And it looks pretty scary when you put it on, but as soon as you work it in, it really has just a nice kind of like moisturizing, nourishing kind of feeling and appearance. It doesn't look quite as pasty as it does when you first put it on. When I first tried this product, I was like, whoa. What's going to happen here? But anyway, back to the topic at hand, I really like to ensure that I have a lot of SPF on. It's something that I really should focus on year round. The sun rises every day. Thank goodness. The sun rises every day. So I really should focus on SPF all the time, but it really becomes like something I can't avoid come the summertime, especially here in Las Vegas. It gets incredibly, incredibly intense. So I like to just make sure that I have some decent SPF on. So I start to gravitate towards those products that are really kind of like tinted sunscreens or sunscreens that I can use as a base. And this has a little bit of a tint to it. You can see now that I've like worked it in, it doesn't have that kind of like pasty mineral sunscreen look to it. It doesn't look thick on my skin. I just feel like it smooths out my skin and gives me like a little bit of coverage, like a teeny bit. I feel like any tint that's in here is really just to counteract like the whiteness that you see in mineral sunscreens. So it's really light, and I feel like for the warmer months, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Just something that like perfects my skin in a way that's very, very light-handed. Nothing too heavy in terms of like coverage and pigmentation, but in general, bases that I gravitate towards in the spring, summertime really have a focus on SPF. versus like coverage and things like that. So I've really been enjoying this Derm Institute one. The next thing that I feel like I'm always kind of like looking to do or looking to add into my makeup look in the warmer months is some sort of bronzy glow. Again, I'm sure I'm not the only one. And of course, the By Terry Brightening CC Serum in number 4 Sunny Flash always comes to mind. There are, lots of options in terms of something like this, but there's something really beautiful about the By Terry Brightening CC Serum. It has a lot of glow to it, as you can see. There's quite a bit of a sheen, but it doesn't make you look like the Tin Man. There's a lot of like liquid highlighters that I feel like it's too much to kind of put all over your face. This I use all over my face. Yes, I look very high lit, I look very glowy, but I don't feel like I cross over into Tin Man territory. So I'm just shaking this up just to make sure we've got it all mixed up here. And then what I like to do is just pump out a little bit. You can see it's kind of runny. It is definitely like a serum, much like its name suggests. It is a serum, so it has like this lightweight texture to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this all over my face. This is also a great product to use if you are a self-tanner, but you only self-tan your body. This will probably even you out. So I'm just going to pump out just one more pump here, so I get my forehead in there. Doesn't that just give me the most incredible glow? I love it. And again, I'm obviously very glowy, but I don't feel like I just slathered like highlighter all over my face. And the slight tint to it is really, really nice. It just gives me that kind of like kiss of bronze that I really enjoy. Of course, you can like add a little bit more on if you want like a deeper bronze, but this is perfect for me. As you guys know, I am very, very pale. So products like these are another thing that I really gravitate towards, things that are glowy and bronzy that I can just sort of like put all over my face, just sort of add a little bit of like a bronze kiss to my complexion. I just love, love, love in the spring, summertime. So that was the By Terry Brightening CC Serum in Sunny Flash. And then what I like to do is just really kind of like determine where my skin is that day. Some days it's a little bit oilier than others. I generally have, 99.9% of the time, my skin is just very, very dry. And so if I don't have to use powder, I won't. And so I'll just do like a quick assessment of like what is going on. Do I feel like my skin is oily that day? Generally, it's like around the tip of my nose, my forehead. Do I feel like I need to powder? If I don't, I just kind of move on. Today, I don't feel like I necessarily need to. It's actually pretty cool here today in Vegas. It's very, very sunny, but the temperature dropped like strangely over the past couple of days. So my skin has kind of dried out a little bit. So I am going to forego powder. And powder is definitely something I like use without even any thought in the fall, winter time, because I definitely want to kind of mattify or bring down any kind of shine that I have. Again, that's just sort of the mood that I get into in the fall, winter time. Like I like, not a matte look, but something matter. So anyway, I am going to forego powder. And I'm gonna move right into bronzer. So even though I used this Sunny Flash, I do wanna add a little bit of bronzer to my face to contour a little bit, but we all like to use bronzer as contour, bronzer a little bit, if you will. So I've got the Bobbi Brown Aruba. This is the illuminating bronzing powder. And I do want to mention that I am working with Bobbi Brown on this video. So a big thank you to them. You guys know I love Bobbi Brown. I am such a big fan, especially of their bronzers. But I'm going to be using some of their other products on my eyes that I can't wait to show you. So anyway, this is Aruba. So this is one of the illuminating bronzing powders. So there's like a little bit of a sheen to it, which you guys know. I am not really into flat matte face products, especially not in the spring, summertime. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of spread this all over my face. I've got my Bobbi Brown. This is actually the blush brush, but it is big, for me, it's big enough for bronzer placement. So I'm just going to pick up a bit and just add in places where, again, I just want to add a little bit of like dimension to my face since I added the By Terry all over. And Bobbi Brown bronzers just have the best tone. You guys have heard me talk about their bronzers like constantly, over and over and over. So yeah, I'm just gonna add it to where I would naturally see a little bit more sun, top of my nose, maybe along my jawline and chin, and then where I want to bronzer a little bit here. So again, that is the illuminating bronzer in Aruba. Just love it. Oh, what I didn't mention was concealer. And again, in the summer, spring, summertime or whatever, I really like to keep it light when it comes to base products. So just like powder, I really kind of like take an assessment at that point. Do I really need concealer? And I think with the coverage of the Derm Institute, I don't think I need any concealer today, or at least I feel like I don't need to put it on. I feel like I can kind of like get away with it. So no concealer, no powder. We just did bronzer. For blush, I really, really enjoy, and this is sort of in general, I really enjoy cream products, as I've been kind of yammering on about. I'm gonna pull out the Say Dew Cheek. I never know if it's Dew Blush or Dew Cheek. It's Dew Blush in the shade Chili. And, like I said, cream liquid blushes, I really, really enjoy. I definitely use them in the fall, winter time as well. But there's something really appropriate, I think, for spring, summertime. I don't know, I just love cream products in the spring, summertime. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the warmer months. But yeah, I just really enjoy it. And this has been one of my favorites lately. So I'm going to just tap. I realize 3 taps is generally enough, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and tap in with my fingers. And this blush works really well over powder, under powder. It's really a wonderful formula. So even though I put down that Bobbi Brown bronzer, this is gonna work beautifully right on top. I mean, I'd be lying if I said, oh, I really like to go in hard with blush in the spring, summer, because it kind of like brightens up your face and all those things. I go hard with blush all the time, but I do feel like it's much more appropriate in the spring, summertime because it gives you like the healthy flush or whatever, but it really makes you look like you've just spent some time in the sun. It's really appropriate for the spring, summertime. So yeah, I really love a strong blush look. So let me go ahead and apply to this other side. Okay, very strong blush look again, which I love. And then for highlight, now again, this is optional too because I put such a highlighty kind of base down, but if I want just a little bit more, which I'm definitely not shy about in the spring, summertime highlight, I do, again, gravitate towards like cream, liquid kind of highlights. I find them to be just a little bit more ethereal looking. They're a little bit more subtle than powder, and I feel like I have a little bit more control in terms of how much highlight I'm putting on my face when I use a cream liquid. So I've got one of my favorites here. This is the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick in Nectar. This is the one that I've talked about endlessly. So I'm just gonna run my finger over it and just dab it right on those high points, just to bring those out a little bit more, even though my entire face is glowing right now. A little bit on my chin, just a little. I feel like if you take it too far on the chin, it just looks like you're drooling. A little bit over the eyebrows here. So yeah, so just adding a little bit of extra glossiness to those areas. Again, spring, summertime, I definitely do not shy away from highlighter. Okay, so for brows, I'm just gonna use my Dior Onset Brow in dark brown. I've been loving this, as you guys know. I'm just gonna drag this through. And, I'm pretty consistent in terms of like how I wear my brows, mainly because I'm kind of lazy and I just like one step to my brows. But if I'm doing like a full look in the fall, winter time, I will probably go in with a pencil as well on top of a brow gel. In the summertime, probably not. I will most likely just use a brow gel and that's it. And just leave it kind of natural looking, not too filled in, just a little fluffier, a little bit lighter. So that was the Dior Onset Brow Gel. Now, moving on to eyes. So eyes, in general, I do a simple eye look, as you guys know if you watch me. I'm not someone that like, you know, does like a halo eye or a cut crease or like a whole rainbow look. That's generally not my thing anyway. But in the spring, summertime, I really like one and done looks. I just love like a beautiful wash of color on the lids. I love using cream liquid shadows in the summertime, much like my cheap products. I love the look of it and I love the texture of it. I love working with them, all those things. So Bobbi Brown, as you know, they have a longwear cream shadow stick, which is incredible. And they've actually just improved the formula. So now I find it more blendable and they actually have a longer wear time where they won't crease and smudge and flake and do any of those things for like 24 hours. I think before it was like 8 to 12 hours. Anyway, now it's 24 hours and they've come out with 10 new shades. So here are the 10 shades. These first 7 shades are shimmer shades. So the first one is Mica, Golden Amber, Peach Mimosa, which is a limited edition shade, Forest, Espresso, Smoky Topaz, Mulberry. And then there's 3 multi-chrome shades, Moonstone, Incandescent, and Sunrise Pink. And Sunrise Pink is also a limited edition shade. Now, I don't know if you guys are big fans of the Bobbi Brown like Luxe eyeshadows, but they have, I remember 2 shades, Moonstone and Incandescent. Incandescent, I believe, was a limited edition one of those Luxe eyeshadows. They were baked shadows and they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But they do have a Moonstone, they do have an Incandescent, and they're both very, very similar to these cream shadow sticks. So if you're fans of those, I think you would like these. Like fans of those eyeshadows in those shades, I think you would like the Moonstone and the Incandescent in these shadow sticks. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I was so excited when I saw those names. I'm like, I know those names. I love those Luxe eyeshadows. So anyway, I am going to do, again, like a really simple one and done look. So I'm going to use Smoky Topaz all over my lid. And then I think what I'll do, well, we'll see, because I like to keep my eye looks very simple in the warmer months. But this is what the Longwear cream shadow sticks look like. I'm sure you're aware. They twist up and down. And like I said, this new reformulation, I just find them to be so much easier to blend. Because they do set down, I still like to work one eye at a time. So I like to go in with my finger, so easy. You can go ahead and use a brush if you want, but I just use my finger, especially if I'm doing a one and done shadow look. If I'm gonna kind of go in with 2 and want to blend them out, I'll probably use a brush, but if I'm doing just like a one and done look, a finger is fine. So just blending out these edges. So there's like a really soft look. Of course, you can build it up if you want. Maybe I'll add a little bit to the lash line there and keep it close to the lash line. Yeah, give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of accent right there around my eyes. So I'll do the same thing over here. Just add a little bit all over. And I don't know if I mentioned, these are waterproof also, on top of being smudge proof and flake proof and all of that stuff for 24 hours. It is also waterproof. There. So easy, and I love this look. Just a slight like wash of color on the lid. Of course, you can go ahead and add like Moonstone to the inner corner of your eye. Let's do that. So I've got Moonstone here, and these sticks are so great because you can add right where you want them. Pretty precise. There, just brighten up the inner corner, add a little bit more highlight to my face. Of course, you can blend that out a little bit. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. And if you do use like a small like liner brush, I like to use a liner brush and like run it over the cream shadow stick if I want to use it as liner. So why don't we try that with Espresso? And I've got my Bobbi Brown Smoky Eyeliner brush here. So a brush like this is great, or one that's pointy would work as well. But this is like a flat one, a teeny flat brush. So I'm going to run it over Espresso and just the tips of the brush here. And I'm just gonna run it along my lower lash line. And because these set down, they're great, absolutely great. They will not budge either. So there is, with a little bit of liner, Again, I don't want to do anything too deep because it's, you know, the summertime, but I think this is a really nice, subtle accent there. All right, so those are the new Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. I really love the new shades. I love this shimmer finish. I think it's so, so pretty. The multi-chrome shades are so pretty as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish my eye look with some mascara. I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and then finish it off with the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara, which is one of my favorite mascaras. I brought this along to Cabo with me as well. It's so good. I love how like fluffy it makes my lashes, and it never flakes, smudges, nothing like that. And it's easy to take off. And lips, like I said in the intro, I really, really love lip glosses, tinted lip oils, anything that's really juicy, anything that's lightly pigmented, you know, things that are easy to apply, nothing too dramatic for the lips. That is definitely what I gravitate towards. As you guys know, I love like a cool toned, like rich brown, or like a really deep terracotta kind of red. I love those shades for the fall, but I find them they're just a little too heavy for the spring, summer months. So I definitely gravitate towards shades that are lighter, but also formulas that are really light and moisturizing and juicy, and, you know, just lip products that just aren't that serious. So I pulled out my Surratt Lip Slick in the shade Paramore, and I just like repurchased this shade because I think I had all of the Surratt Lip Slicks, but I had them for years and it was just time to let them go. It was like 4 or 5 years old. And so, you know, with the warmer months coming, I was like, I need those back. So I went and I purchased a couple. This is one. So again, this is Paramore. It's a very light, like peachy shade. And I'm just gonna swatch it so you can see how glossy it is. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, I love that finish. So let me go ahead and apply. So there is Paramore, very light peach. I think if you want something a little less concealer lip looking, you can definitely add like a lip liner and kind of like feather that in, make it like a little bit more of like an ombre. That'll give it a little bit more contrast. But again, come the spring, summertime, because I like to bronze up my face so much, it tends to make a lot of my lip products look a lot paler in contrast, in comparison. And then I end up kind of like with like kind of a concealer lip look. And I don't hate it. This is something I don't really like in the fall, winter time because I feel like it makes you just look a little unhealthy. But for some reason in the spring, summertime, maybe it's because my face is so glowy or whatever, I don't mind this look. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the Surratt Lip Slick in Paramore. So that is my finished look, my seasonal switch up, kind of talking you through what I enjoy more now that the months are warmer, the sun is out a little bit longer. Yeah, my tastes definitely change. So a big thank you to Bobbi Brown for working with me on this video. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. If you have any recommendations in terms of these types of products that you haven't seen me use on my channel, I would love to hear from you, like juicy lip products, glowy bases, cream cheek products, cream like one and done shadows. I just love it all. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.